Welcome to Zen in a Moment, episode 43 with Zen Cryer DeBrook. One thing that you guys may not know about me is that I am a high school dropout. I didn't finish high school. I did go back later, and I did get my graduation through going through adult school, night school. However, I dropped out of high school so I could take care of myself, and I sued my father for emancipation, and I won because he was moving to another area of the state, and I did not want to go with him. And so we kind of battled it out, and I won. Well, from there, as many of you know, that taking care of yourself is hard. And I had been running around and finding people to stay with and stuff while lots of things were happening in my family. But when I was finally officially an adult, declared by the court, I had to take care of myself, and it was really tough. Tougher than I thought, keeping that rent going, and I several times had to live out of my car, and just had to take on odd jobs and 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet, just like every other normal person. And I really got to a place where I realized, I was not doing well. I was making poor decisions, and I wasn't getting anywhere. I was spinning my wheel. And I enjoyed being a waitress, and I was taking some community college classes, but there was a lot of fear holding me back in my life. And that fear would show up when I would go to make a new decision, when I would want to dive into something bigger than I thought I could do. There were some opportunities that came along, but I didn't think that I was good enough, smart enough, capable enough, that I had the resources to do things, certain things. And over the years, this really hindered me from having any success in my early 20s. And then the holy tape was put in my lap from Abraham Hicks, talking about the law of attraction and the internal guidance system. And from there, the interesting thing was that I began decoding the internal guidance system piece, and I followed my openings. The first thing that I discovered was that fear is closing. I knew that. I knew that if I was afraid, I felt the tightness in my body. And so, there's this whole idea around feel the fear and do it anyways. There's something to that in certain respects. That could half the time work and half the time not work, because you could have closing thoughts and the opening is to do it. Or you could have closing thoughts that you're not supposed to do it. And the only way you know the difference is by using your IGS. And the difference between the two is that if you are supposed to feel the fear and move forward through it, you'll get an opening as you move through it, because your thoughts will be going, I'm going to do this. It's going to happen. I'm going to make this happen. And you'll begin opening. All the I can'ts, I shouldn'ts, don't have enoughs, I'm not good enoughs, they disappear as you move forward. Now, if you're not, and you're pushing through a closing, which is definitely not something that you want to do. If you're pushing through a closing, everything around you will start not working. You'll know, because technology will break, money won't be there, rides will be missed, programs won't show up. You won't have the support, and it'll keep feeling harder and harder and harder. So that's how you know how to push through fear or not. But the cool news is that I was able to become incredibly successful in a short period of time, because when I felt that fear and that closing, I would then hold the thought, I can do this. I will have enough money. This will work out for me. I remember when I was trying to get into Sacramento State, and the counselor there told me that my grades and my history, I was too good to go to a state school. Now, I had gotten 2 years of my community college out of the way, my general ed, and had excellent grades, great work background, and all these different things. And the teacher suggested, with what I wanted to do, I really needed to go into the international relations department at UC Davis. And I thought, I can't afford UC Davis. I can't go to a UC school. Closed. And then what I found was that, indeed, not only was I able to get into UC Davis, but I was able to afford it. Now, I couldn't always afford the books, so I checked them out of the library, the latest edition from the year before, and I had all these ways that I had to be really scrappy, but I got it done. My openings from me turning my fears around became my guidance to success. I no longer listened to what I was thinking about what I could do. I was listening to my internal guidance system. Another time, I remember I was on my way into a meeting with the British Petroleum. Now, that company is now called BP. For those of you who know it as BP, we were part of the global rebranding team that took them from British Petroleum to BP. And I was in this meeting trying to get this gig. And I remember being in the elevator with my team. I was the CEO. And I'm going up the elevator into this meeting, and my body just flooded with fear that I was not going to be able to land this, that I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't belong in the room with these people. They're not going to respect me. I don't know what I'm doing. All this stuff. I didn't have a degree in computers. I had a degree in foreign policy. All this stuff was happening inside my head, inside my little mind, right? And I realized I was closed. I realized that everything that was going on was tightly closing me, which means it's absolutely 100% not true or not going to happen. And so I went into the meeting and I nailed it. My team and I did a great job, and we got the project. So the thing is that all along the way, being afraid to call someone and ask for something, or being afraid to hire someone because the money wasn't there yet, but we really needed the help. All along the way, including in my relationships, taking on a relationship that I was scared of, that was intimidating to me and turned out to be amazing, or projects, or my health. That was another one. Just taking on my health, finances, getting my finances together. There was so much stuff that fear turned into guidance for success. Fear turned into guidance for success. In fact, to me, it's one of the best things that you could use as guidance for success. It's really looking at what you're afraid of in your career or in what you're doing in your life. If you're afraid of writing a book, right, write down all the fears, because they're not true or they're not going to happen. And when you find the opening, you have this boost of energy to go get it. So I just wanted to talk to you today about fear being really important as guidance for success. When you feel fear, go into I'm closed. That means what I'm thinking is not true or not going to happen. Look at what those thoughts are that your mind is making up, the story your mind is making up about you and what you're capable of and what's going to happen. And then move through it into your openings. All right. I'm sending you love and blessings. Go forth and have an amazing day. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my Zen in the Moments mini pods. I'm on a mission to eliminate mental fear in the human species. I truly know that the closing of our internal guidance systems is letting each and every human being on the planet know that what they're thinking is out of alignment with what is going to create love, harmony, compassion, discernment, and peace. And that if we all learn to follow our internal guidance system, discover our openings, we will be in flow and in harmony together, and we can create the world that we love. Now, this is not something we can do by ourselves. That is why I have created the Fear-Free Human Collective. The collective is a community of people who've come together to get training on how to use their internal guidance system. It is an amazing experience to be with a group of people who are looking at their closings, taking responsibility for them, and then working together to find openings. Because when those openings happen, magic and synchronicity are the norm. If you are interested in having a group of people who are going through this experience together and are changing their worlds to where, miracles become the norm and we can celebrate them together as we have an extraordinary life by influencing people with our opening and our love and our compassion, that I want to invite you to go to BeFearFreeNow.com, BeFearFreeNow.com, and become a member. We have a free level, a level that is $27, $47, and $97, depending on how deep you want to go with the training and how much coaching access you'd like to have, and to be in a group with me, to be able to be in a discussion with me on how are we going to make this happen on this beautiful, exquisite planet we live on. So please come check it out. I'd love to have you join the fun. Join us all at BeFearFreeNow.com. Thanks so much. I'm sending you love and blessings. Bye for now.